Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
My top pick this week is NVIDIA. We're looking at the blog page. I tell investors, if you want to keep up with NVIDIA or just innovation in general, then you need to take a visit once a week to the NVIDIA newsroom and or the blog page. We're going to come back to this. Right now, I just want to catch you up on a lot of content that I've been creating on NVIDIA. This was a presentation I did on artificial intelligence, the dreams and the reality, back in June. Did a video on that. So I've just been doing a lot of content on NVIDIA and artificial intelligence. And so you can find all these titles. On June 30th, I did something on NVIDIA and AMD after I heard Jensen Huang call these technologies, these GPU technologies, the digital flywheels of super exponential innovation. Now, some people say that I exaggerate when I talk about exponential innovation, but this is the man himself, Jensen Huang, saying things like digital flywheels of super exponential innovation. And I'll show you how he's right, how he's sort of reinvented Moore's Law coming up here. Recently did Bull of the Day around the 4th of July on NVIDIA. Let's take a look at that real quick. Here's that piece. Recommend you find this piece because there's a lot of good information in here. I raised my price target on NVIDIA to $750 in April before any of the Wall Street analysts. And then in June, I went to 1,000. And finally, the BMO analyst took that high ground too and went to 1,000 on his price target. One of the cool updates I shared in this, I believe it's here. Oh yeah, as I was writing this, I just found out the weekend of July 4th, NVIDIA is trying to buy ARM Holdings, right? And bring in this CPU technology that's also, creating custom solutions for all of mobile. Well, the ARM management team said they like this merger better than if they had gone and done an IPO out of SoftBank. And that says a lot because personally they would have enriched themselves more with an IPO probably, but they like being in the NVIDIA ecosystem and looking out what they can build for the next 10, 20 years. So that's awesome. All right, what do I want to show you here? Oh, so this was a recent presentation where, I think this was for the ISI Technology Conference, but let me look at this revenue ramp. Into this year, 53%. EPS was also a 53% ramp, and this was not because 2019 was a terrible year. It was just a soft year after a really strong 18, and this is not a bounce back from coronavirus. This was a realization for corporations how much they needed this technology. What else I want to show you here? So when you look at where NVIDIA is selling data center, and my point here is that, yes, gaming is still 55% of NVIDIA's revenue, and it will continue to be strong and grow, but data center is growing faster, and data center is going to overtake gaming this year and become a mid-teens billion-dollar business. So that's what's happening. You look at who's buying this data center equipment: the top universities, research labs, top hospitals, top car makers, aerospace, banks, and this picture here, this giant supercomputer. That's who can afford that? Well, how about Tesla? Tesla just unveiled on June 22nd their new supercomputer powered by NVIDIA A100 GPUs. And we're talking about a lot of A100 GPUs, right? What was cool about it is the head of AI and supercomputing for Tesla said, this is an incredible supercomputer. And he says, I actually believe in terms of flops, this is roughly the number 5 supercomputer in the world. So, we're beyond teraflops. We're into exaflops now, a quintillion operations per second, a billion. So simply amazing stuff. When you look at these A100s, now the A100 is like it's a card that could still fit in a shoebox, but it's got 56 billion transistors in it. Well, in just this small DGX box, they pack eight of these separate cards, the Ampere 100, and then picture them, then you could stack the DGX boxes, and you stack them, and you to make a supercomputer. Really, what you're doing is you're creating all these nodes with thousands of the A100 cards. So that's the power of the NVIDIA stack there. Let's look at we'll look at the sales estimates and the earnings estimates in a second. I just wanted to show you the stock price here. Look at this. Today is the last day you can buy NVIDIA before it goes 4-for-1 split tomorrow. And that's what's sort of interesting is even though the record date was back in June, they structured this so you could actually buy the stock up to the day before it splits and be part of that. So that's why in a down market today, S&P breaking support, NASDAQ breaking support, NVIDIA's up because people are getting in. I was looking for a chance. I hope we'd get to buy some more at 700. The low was 714 and they got scooped up. So, but why isn't NVIDIA a number one rank in the Zacks ecosystem? Because, I mean, just look at what EPS estimates have done, in the past 2 months since GTC, since their Q1 earnings. We're in their fiscal 22 Q2 right now that ends in July. But, you see big bumps in EPS here. The business just continues to grow, and they have a firm grasp on who their customers are. You see revenue here, 50% revenue growth this year to $25 billion. Now, this 11% growth to $28 billion, roughly, that's going to go up. Analysts don't have the visibility really to project how much more it's going to go up, but you're probably talking a $30 billion top line next year. All right, let me see if that's everything I wanted to show you. I think so. Basically, you buy NVIDIA on the dips. Remember, you're going to see the price. Let's say it closes at 750. It's going to be not quite a $200 stock opening on Tuesday morning. All right, thanks for joining me. Up next, Dave Boren with his top pick.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. My top stock pick this week is an American icon. It's the Ford Motor Company. And I have a very specific reason for this. So a lot of things are going right for Ford. They've got an electric Mustang. They got the re-release of the Bronco coming out. That's been sold out for almost a year. But the biggest thing they have going right now is the release of the F-150 electric Lightning pickup truck. Now, this is the term game changer gets overused, but this is in fact an appropriate circumstance for me to call this a game changer. Now, I have a little bit of experience in the service industry. I owned a business, and we owned Ford F-150 pickup trucks. They go out every morning, drive from 50 to 150 miles, do their job flawlessly, and end up parked in the same space every night. They're just a workhorse. It's an appliance, and that's a compliment. Just goes about its business, does everything you need it to do without complaint. But I spent a lot of money on gasoline, and I also had to budget time and money for things like oil changes, transmission fluid, regular maintenance of the trucks to keep the fleet running. Now, the electric truck is a perfect substitute for all those gasoline trucks that are on the road. Now, if you look around when you're driving today or another day, you're going to see a lot of trucks out there just going about their daily business. Electricians, plumbers, exterminators, AC repairmen, pool service, you name it, and they are driving a pickup truck to get their tools, equipment, and supplies to the job. Those trucks are all basically the same as I described. They go out every day, they park in the same place every night. And the owners of those trucks, whether they be sole proprietors in a trade business or large companies, would love to be able to save the gas money and instead have an electric version, which is exactly what Ford is about to provide. Now, the most important electric car up until now has been the Tesla Model S. Tesla followed up with the Model X, the 3, the Y, and they proved to the world that you can build a financially viable, profitable on a gross margin basis electric vehicle and sell it to the masses. And Tesla is about to hit 200,000 a quarter in deliveries, so about 800,000 cars a year, and on their way to 1 million. Ford already sells almost 1 million F-150s every single year, and that's just the F-150. It doesn't count the rest of the vehicles that they sell. So there's a huge opportunity for each new vehicle sold to convert a previous gas truck buyer to an electric truck buyer. So Tesla has about $50 billion a year in revenues. Ford has about $146 billion a year in revenues, and headed north, well, over 150 projected for 2022. So the sales numbers, Ford has almost triple the sales of Tesla overall. And I think that 2022 number could go even higher, because I think this electric F-150 is going to be a big hit. Now, Tesla trades at a massive multiple. Now, I don't think it's totally undeserved. I'm a Tesla bull, have been for a long time, and probably will be for the foreseeable future. They redefined the category, but they traded about 150 times forward earnings for a 12-month PE. Ford, in contrast, trades at about 13 times the 12-month forward PE. So it's an incredible bargain as a company that's about to do to the pickup truck market what Tesla did for the electric passenger vehicle market. Now, one last thing. Tesla kind of missed the boat, in my opinion, with the way that they marketed the pickup truck. They had a clear lead in electric cars. They were eating everyone else's lunch. There was no competition from the Europeans. There was no competition from the other American car companies. Chevy was selling a Bolt and losing somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 a car, reportedly, while Tesla was selling profitable electric vehicles to a mass market. Had they hit the market first with the same technology in a usable electric pickup truck, I think they could have stolen all of Ford's thunder. And instead, they designed the Cybertruck, still yet to be released, and more toward the niche consumer market, more for hauling your mountain bike around and not your tools to a job. And so I think they left the door wide open for Ford. Ford's about to charge right through it. And that's what makes Ford my top stock pick of the week. Now, also, make sure you go to Zacks.com/promos for a special offer, and we'll see you next week.